What I'm about to discuss is something that I've discussed countless times in previous videos, and yet it still remains something that gets pushed regularly by the media and fans of the game alike, being of course the fact that expectations for young players are higher than ever, and people nowadays are way too quick to write off guys early in their careers. Franchises trade away young players with tons of potential so often now, and seemingly give up on them if they're not a finished product after 2 or 3 years, and this definitely all ties into today's video. For today's video, we will be discussing a seemingly polarizing young NBA player by the name of Collin Sexton of the Cleveland Cavaliers, along with all of the rumors swirling about him. Sexton has seemingly become one of the most disrespected young players in the game today by so many people, and I truly do not understand why. In this video, I'll be going over what got him to this point, what exactly the rumors are saying about him, what I believe is the truth of the matter, and why people are being completely ridiculous about this. Before we start though, it turns out about 61% of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so please, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. Going all the way back to the 2018 NBA draft that has proven to be one of the most loaded draft classes in recent memory, Collin Sexton entered the league as the 8th overall pick that year, and in the eyes of many at the time, he had just as much potential as anyone else in that draft. Obviously, guys like Luka Doncic and Trae Young have emerged as the truly elite talent from that draft, and we're also watching DeAndre Ayton now emerge in the playoffs, helping his Suns team lead them to the finals. But at the time, there were real debates over who would be a better point guard in the league between Trae Young and Collin Sexton. Sure, Trae has definitely distanced himself from those debates, and to this point has had a far better career than Sexton has had, but that does not mean by any means that Sexton has been a disappointment. First of all, Collin Sexton came into a Cavaliers team that was just starting to shift their attention away from contention and more towards the future, as LeBron James had just left them that year, and rebuilding was clearly their option. The Cavaliers also aren't exactly a team that get much attention in the media or by the average fan when LeBron James isn't a member of their team, so a lot of what Sexton does flies way under the radar. For those of you unfamiliar with his career to this point, allow me to fill you in. During Sexton's rookie season, he scored about 17 points per game while shooting over 40% from 3. In his second season, he averaged about 21 points per game while shooting 47% from the field, and this season, in his third year, he took yet another leap, averaging about 24 points per game while shooting 48% from the field. He is a scoring guard by nature, and every year, he improves a ton and takes leap after leap with his production while remaining efficient in doing so. From an organizational standpoint, I really don't see how you could possibly be disappointed with his growth from year to year, but this now brings us to the reasoning for why I'm making this video in the first place. Despite Sexton objectively impressing on the court from very early on, he's also had to deal with adversity from the very beginning of his career. During his rookie season, when the Cavaliers still had a lot of veterans from their championship days on the team, reports came out about some of them being unimpressed with Sexton and saying, and I quote, that he does not know how to play. It's a pretty ridiculous thing to say about a rookie player still trying to find his footing in the league, and now, of course, in hindsight, it makes sense why a lot of those veteran players are either out of the league now or struggling on another team, speaking more on themselves than on Sexton himself. That was during his rookie season, and now again, he's dealing with similar issues. In May during the season, a report came out that some of his teammates grow frustrated by how much he dominates the ball and how much he doesn't always look to pass as much as he should, and I suppose those are both valid complaints to an extent, but I'm about to say something that I feel really needs to be said about the absurdity of this situation. The Cavaliers just aren't a good team. They're not. Of course the people leaking these things to the media keep themselves anonymous because they're too cowardly to say it out in the open and put their name behind those words they're saying, but the fact of the matter is that the Cavaliers are not a good basketball team, and Sexton is far and away their best player, so of course he's going to have the ball a lot. Could he look to create for those around him more? Absolutely he could. However, Sexton is and always has been a scorer by nature, and he's a pretty damn good one at that, so he's clearly going to focus on doing what he is best at, which is putting the ball in the basket. If Sexton was on a team with enough talent to actually contend for something meaningful and was still hogging the ball, taking away touches from other all-star caliber players, then I suppose complaints like this would be valid, but the Cavaliers stink right now. The most annoying part of all of this is that we've seen similar things be said about young scoring guards in the past, with Devin Booker being an excellent example. For years, we heard people say that Devin Booker's numbers were inflated, his scoring wasn't that impactful because it didn't translate to team success, and other lazy crap like that. And now, in the first season that he has genuinely had strong supporting cast around him, Booker is playing in the NBA Finals, and his score-first mentality is crucial to their success. Huh, isn't that funny how it works, right? The Cavaliers have reportedly been very open to trading Collin Sexton this offseason instead of re-signing him to an extended contract, and based on what he's been valued at, maybe it is for the best. If his organization is going to give up on him, despite how impressive his individual production is and how much he has grown just 3 years into his career, then maybe he should go to a new team that would appreciate him more. So far, the New York Knicks appear to be very aggressive in their pursuit of Collin Sexton in a trade, which makes sense, because they have been looking for a cornerstone guard to build with for a while now, and some sources have said that an offer of Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, and a first-round pick is the offer on the table right now. Obviously, no trade has been finalized, but that's not exactly a thrilling offer at all for a player that just came off a season averaging 24 points per game at 22 years old like Sexton did, as Kevin Knox is damn near a bust already, and Obi Toppin has promise, but he didn't really get to show much in his first season, so it seems as though they should be able to get better return value in a trade. If this value is truly where Sexton is at with the team, then whether it be the Knicks or someone else, someone should absolutely swoop in and pull off a heist to steal him away from Cleveland, because they've proven that they do not appreciate him. I'm personally a big believer in Collin Sexton's game, and he's still so young with so much room to grow. He has that dog in him, and he competes so hard every night. If he were ever to find himself on a team with legitimate playoff goals, he would be an absolute fan favorite because of how hard he fights down to the wire and how much he competes. But because he's been stuck in Cleveland for his entire career, he's been stigmatized as a result of their losing culture. I'm all for Sexton finding a new home elsewhere because I'm confident that the disrespect everyone seems to be putting on his name would vanish, and he would be viewed much more positively by the general public. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who you think would be a good team to trade for Collin Sexton. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.